All right, hey, and welcome everybody. This is Pastor Sherman Ray, and this is In God We Still Trust. Welcome all to the broadcast today. Hope everybody's doing really well. It's Sunday, you guys. It is November 9th, I believe it is. Yeah, I think it's the 9th. And if you're like me, you had a great day at church already this morning, and it's been a wonderful day so far. It really has been. Things have been working out really well. We had some gremlins in church, but it's all right. You know, it happens from time to time where stuff doesn't work right, audio, video, whatever, that kind of stuff. But as long as you're here today, you guys, everything is going to be fine. Today we're going to talk about a devastating trend in America that I think most people don't really even realize it. You might have heard about it in the news, but we're going to spotlight a devastating trend in America that I think it should make us, pause and say, maybe we've had our head in the sand for too long on this. We're going to talk about the government shutdown. We're going to talk about President Trump. And we're going to talk about the religious fervor in this country that's taking on epic proportions. All that and more on this week's In God We Still Trust. It's Pastor Sherman Ray. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, hey, this is Pastor Sherman Ray, and this is In God We Still Trust, guys. I hope everybody's had it's been a wonderful week. It really has been. There's a lot of stuff going on, and if you're like me, you've been probably just consuming all kinds of news, just because it has been at breakneck speed. We're living in probably one of the best times in American history where we get to get plugged into the latest things that are going on each and every day. I mean, hour by hour, something else is happening, and we cannot wait to share it with you. And all week long, we consume this stuff, and then at the end of the week, we hope that you're able to stick around with us just to talk about some of these things. But before we go much further, I want to let you know, In God We Still Trust is we're going to start doing some really cool things, and you probably noticed my cool shirt on. This is actually our logo, guys. This is our logo, and you probably see a logo. It's like over here, something like that. But we're going to begin to start selling logo wear, and a part of the proceeds are going to go to some veterans organizations, and so we're very excited about just kind of a new thing that we're going to be doing in the broadcast. So stay tuned, because I know some of you have been asking about it, and we've already had people who said, hey, can we get one of those shirts that you've got, because you've been noticing my In God. Do you like that? It looks pretty cool, doesn't it? And it's very, this is something I designed myself. So we're going to have a lot of things. We'll have hats, and we'll have t-shirts, we'll have some jackets, some logo wear. So just keep in mind that. If you'd like more information, you can write to us at ingodwestilltrust1 at gmail.com. It's ingodwestilltrust1 at gmail.com. If you'd like to watch the videos that we put out on a weekly basis, especially the week, we just had a video that we talked about what socialism really is. It was a 3-part series, and that was last week, and we got that out. If you'd like to get that, you can check it out on our YouTube channel, as always. Or you can also go to GodWeStillTrust.org, GodWeStillTrust.org, and that'll get you right to the video. Okay, and it's a 3-part video on what socialism is all about. Because I believe a lot of people would not have voted for, in the way that they did, this mayoral election in New York, had they known what socialism really is all about. But you have no excuse now, because you can actually get that video right now at God We Still Trust or GodWeStillTrust.org. GodWeStillTrust.org. Okay. Yeah. And also subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you're watching us right now, just subscribe. It's hard to say. To the YouTube channel. We'd love for you to get up to date on everything that's going on. during the every time we put up a video. Well, in this first article, guys, it's all about J.D. Vance, Vice President J.D. Vance. You know that he's married to Usha Vance, and they are not of the same religious. They're not of the same faith. J.D. Vance, about 5 years ago, converted to Catholicism, and Usha is a Hindu. Yeah, that's problematic. It's very problematic. And there's an article that talked about that J.D. Vance hopes his wife, Usha, will convert to Christianity. And this is starting to spark a debate among people who keep track of this stuff about this interfaith marriage thing. So I want to let's see what this article is all about. It says J.D. Vance recently told a packed college arena that he hopes his wife would someday convert to Christianity, thrusting into the spotlight a deeply sensitive topic among interfaith couples. Experts who have counseled hundreds of couples who don't share religious beliefs say the key is to respect each other's faith traditions and having honest discussions about how to raise your children. That you need to begin to think about this. And they say most agree that pressuring or even hoping the other would convert could prove damaging to a relationship, and all the more so for a couple in the public arena. Okay, so we got a couple of things here, folks, and I want to be very, very sensitive to this, because there's a lot of people out there who not only do they not share the same faith, they don't share the same political views, they don't share the same views of how to raise kids, and that can be problematic at best, okay? At worst, it could start a huge fight and break up the relationship. So here's biblically what, the Bible says, that to not be unequally yoked, okay? What does that mean? That means you shouldn't marry somebody who's not of the same faith as you. That's starting out. Okay, if you're meeting somebody, hey, guess what? You look cute, I look cute, that's cool. And you look at each other and you have this attraction. And the first thing you need to do after you have that, that physical attraction and you see somebody, you need to ask them, what, especially if you start dating this person, these are some questions you want to ask, okay? Are you a Christian? Are you not a Christian? Because if you're not a Christian, that's a game changer. This is a non-starter. It should be a non-starter for anybody. Okay, politically, I think even politically, it is probably a non-starter. And even though many Republicans, many conservatives marry people who are of the other aisle, it is problematic, because now you don't believe that you're not going the same direction. But let's say for giggle's sake, you are both pagans, you're both, non-believers, and then one day, all of a sudden, you guys get married because you're both pagans and you're non-believers, and now, a few years down the line, like J.D. Vance, 5 years ago, he converts to Christianity. Now, I don't really know how long they've been married, to tell you the truth, and I really should have done some background on this to find out how long they've been married before he converted to Catholicism. But I'm going to guess that his kids are a little older, so they're not like babies. He's got a couple of small kids, but I'm going to suspect. So let's just put it this way: if you are married for a while, one of you gets becomes a Christian, that is a whole different thing, as opposed to somebody who is not a Christian, and you find are people who are, you're already a Christian before, and now you're looking to, date somebody, because the Bible basically says don't do it. Just don't do it. We need to pray for J.D. Vance in this case, because she's a lovely lady, but she has no plans on converting to Christianity, and this is going to be a struggle. It really is. The Hindus, because she's being pressured now by her side of the fence, saying, "Oh, don't do this, don't switch." Well, of course they don't want her to switch. Okay, they've got their Hindus have now got their foot close to the White House, and they don't want her to switch to becoming a Christian. But she needs to follow her husband. She needs to follow what her husband is doing, as opposed to, I'm going to follow this half of my family. So once again, you got some issues there with J.D. Vance and Usha, and I think this is going to be very interesting how it plays out, and we as a nation need to begin to think about these things. Anyways, let's take a really quick break, you guys. We'll come back. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about a devastating trend. And this trend is something that I think most people probably should keep their eyes open about. And let's hope we can get a handle on this. This is Pastor Sherman Ray. This is In God We Still Trust. We'll be back in just a minute. All right, we are back, folks. It's Pastor Sherman Ray, and this is In God We Still Trust. I want to thank you all for being a part of the broadcast. As we kind of started the show off, we were talking about this. There's a trend that is moving across the fruited plain in America, and one I don't think most people are even aware of, and it's something that we need to talk about right now, folks, because if we don't, it is going to continue to fester, and it's going to continue to get worse and worse. And what do I mean by this devastating, thing that's going on? It is the slow creep of non-Christian people taking positions of power in a Christian nation. And what do I mean by that? Well, our founding fathers founded this beautiful country as a social experiment. And this social experiment was to advance the Christian ethos, the Christian, thought across this fruited plain. When our founding fathers got here, they basically say, hey, look, let's spread Christianity across this new land. And that's what they did. I mean, they did. So that's why, and I actually have it here with me. Oh, gosh, this thing's heavy. Great Bible here, you guys. It's called the Founder's Bible. You can see this is a big, big Bible, man. It's a big Bible. And I read this thing every day. And it has pages and pages and pages of stuff that talk about the founding fathers. And a lot of the books that you see behind me do the same thing. They talk about the founding fathers and how they had designed to spread Christianity throughout America. And that's what we've done. We're coming up on our 250th anniversary of the United States, and that is what we're celebrating. We're celebrating the evangelism of America, this continent, and the evangelism of the world. I mean, that's what we do. Well, there are people who don't want this nation to be a Christian nation. Those people, namely, are Muslims. Those people. So, by and large, America is full of Christian denominations. You got Baptists, Methodists, Lutherans, you got Pentecostal, you got Baptist-costal, you got all kinds of offshoots of Christianity, but all of them tend to, even Jehovah's Witnesses, believe, I shouldn't say Jehovah's Witnesses, I don't think they do this, but they believe that Jesus Christ is God. Now, they might have a different style of worshiping God, but that's pretty much, they all basically do that. They might have a different belief in this or that, a part of the gospel, but they're generally Christian people. Muslims, on the other hand, are not. They do not believe Jesus Christ is Lord. They believe he was a prophet. They believe he was a nice guy, but he's not God. And they're trying to take over this nation, guys. And that's an issue. How do I know this? Well, there's numerous posts on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, of people saying, hey, guess what? China will become a Muslim nation. The Soviet Union will become a Muslim nation. And now, the most recent one, the guy said the same thing. China, Russia, America will become a Muslim nation. And why and how is that? Well, they come into locales like New York, and they say, hey, we're going to give you this great thing. We're going to because you guys are having a hard time. We're going to give you stuff. You vote for me, we'll give you stuff. And you have these people who just don't know diddly about our history. They don't know anything about politics. They don't know anything about the economy. All they know is this guy's cute and he's got an Instagram account. And they vote for him. The latest one was Zohran Mamdani. Zohran Mamdani became the most powerful, January, he'll be the most powerful mayor in America because he will be the mayor over New York City. He's a democratic socialist, which means he's a socialist, almost a communist. Because the end goal, and if you watch my video on what is socialism, or what socialism is, you'll see what I mean, is the progression of socialists, democratic socialists, is communism, and the end result of that is the eradication of Christianity, replacing it with government. Even these Muslims that are out there, they think that, this is all good. Yeah. It's going to wipe you guys out too. Ask the people in China. It's going to wipe them out too. There is a progressivism that is overflowing in America, folks, that we need to be very, very vigilant to not allow. It didn't start with Zohran, okay? It started with Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib. It morphs into Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. And then it's Bernie Sanders. And now we've got this Yahoo Zohran who actually became the mayor. Now you've got another guy who's in Minnesota. He wants to be the mayor of Minnesota. And then you've got this other guy. Let me get to this other story, okay? I hope I can get to this story, okay? His name is Jacob. The guy's name is Jacob Fry. Okay, Jacob Fry is the... let me make sure I get this story up. Jacob Fry is actually the mayor, I believe, of Minneapolis. He gave his acceptance speech. He delivers his victory speech in what? Somali. Oh yeah, he did the entire speech. I'm gonna see if you can hear this. I'm gonna play this for you. Let's see if I can actually play it for you guys. Here you go. Can you hear this? I'm gonna play this for you as loud as I can. Okay.
Maaga Yegawa Yarub Farid Doka Magalada Minneapolis.
And yes, that is exactly what you thought you heard. This guy gives his acceptance speech in Somali to thank all of these people for voting him and re-electing him as the mayor. Here's the problem, guys. This is America. That's the problem. This is America. This is not Somalia. This is not Italy. This is not Canada. This is not Botswana. This is not Brazil. Okay? This is America. Nowhere should this be happening. As a matter of fact, there used to be a time. Let's talk about assimilation really quick here, guys. It used to be that people would come over here and they would assimilate into American society. If you came here from Hungary, if you came here from Germany, you came here from wherever you came from, the first thing you would tell your kids, I didn't learn English, you're an American now. Because America is not a skin color, okay? It's not a skin color. America is an ideal. It's an ideal that we are all have unalienable rights. We're endowed by a creator, that you can do whatever you want in America, and you can make it just by being, fortitude, the whole thing. Get an education, take advantage of all the opportunities you have in America. You're in America now, okay? And people went, yeah, we're in America now. I might have broken English, but I learned English, and I'm going to do this, okay? Now you've got people, fast forward now, 250 years now, you got people that are going, I don't give a flying fig about America. All I know is I can take advantage of you guys, and I can get welfare, and I can get all these rights and everything else, but I don't have to learn English. Forget all that crap. Matter of fact, I'm going to change my area to becoming just like the place that I just escaped from. What? That doesn't make sense. The only reason why you folks from Somalia, Yemen, okay, all these other far-flung places, okay, Nigeria, okay, and I'm Nigerian, okay, I'm Jamaican by Nigeria. The only reason why you have the freedoms you have is because you live in a Christian nation. Because you would not have those freedoms in Russia. You would not have those freedoms in Iran. You wouldn't have those freedoms in China. You would be, whatever the state wanted, that's what you would get. But in America, you are privileged, and I dare anybody to say that I'm wrong on this. You are privileged to be in a nation that allows you to practice whatever you want to practice. But please do not try to change America to suit you. You left a nation that crushed you. You were under the boot of that nation. I cannot believe this, that people go, oh yes, let's come to America and we'll change it into the place we just left. That's like Californians. Okay, California, the most beautiful state that there is. Okay, beautiful state. Redwoods, you've got all kinds of great stuff, and rivers and oceans, and you got the whole thing. And you got Gavin Newsom, and you screwed it up. All right, so you screw up the state. You started with this surplus of money, and then you go, okay, I'm leaving. Got high taxes, and you leave. And every place you go, we want to change you into California. What? Why would you want to change us into California? You just left there. This is the devastating trend that is happening in America right now. And now they want to change us into a place that has Sharia law. Florida, parts of Texas, have now instituted laws banning changing their laws to accommodate Sharia law. That it will not happen in Texas. It will not happen in Florida. And if you live in a state that you're listening to this broadcast right here, you need to change it in your state too. Your state legislature needs to say, nowhere within our state borders will Sharia law ever be able to fester and to metastasize. It has screwed up people, women running around with masks on their faces. And oh, please. You gotta be kidding me. So this guy, Jacob Fry, and he's speaking. I just don't get it. These people are just driving me crazy. Let's take a break, folks. I'm just all upset. It just drives me crazy. Anyways, this is Pastor Sherman Ray. This is In God We Still Trust, folks. We will be back in just a minute with a little bit more to tell you about what's going on in our state. Okay? We'll be back in just a second. Stick around. All right, we are back, folks. It's Pastor Sherman Ray, and this is In God We Still Trust. I know some of you are already wondering, probably, man, dude, you've got a great shirt on, don't you? This is our logo wear, And we're going to be offering this up really, really soon, folks. I'm looking for a great manufacturer to make this stuff. I think there's some great. Well, anyways, I'll talk a little bit more about it. But this is part of our logo where we're going to be having. So we're going to have hats and we're going to have socks and whatever. Okay, but it is all about restoring our nation to its core principles: loving God, loving family, loving country, and that's really what it's all about. All right, I'm writing down. Sorry, things. Okay. So there's another article that we want to get to because we're running out of time here. Zohran Mamdani. Many of you know Zohran Mamdani. Zohran is the new mayor. We talk about him ad nauseum on this broadcast, but it's for a reason. It's because he's going to be the mayor of New York City. And one of the first things he did as mayor, he's already starting to show his true colors. As a matter of fact, there was an article, and this one's by the New York Post, and it said the election of socialist Zohran Mamdani as mayor is unleashing a toxic sludge of unsavory characters poised to seize seats in City Hall in New York City. These people, these real powers behind the throne, are putting the mayor on notice. Okay? That's right. The devil's getting his due. These people who said that they are the ones who got you elected, now they're saying, Zohran, this is what we want from you. Toe the Jew and American hate line, or we'll make life very difficult for you. This is what they're saying to him. Yeah, you heard it. They hate Jews, they hate America. And they said, Zohran, you better toe the line on this, or we're going to make life very tough for you. At Mamdani's official swearing in, set for just after midnight on New Year's Day, it's us in the cheap seats who are going to suffer hangovers. He said this would mark a new era of free stuff for everyone: free buses, free groceries, free childcare, more prostitutes. Yay! Instead, they're witnessing the rise of the glory age of Linda Sarsour. Many of you know who Linda Sarsour is. The Brooklyn-bred Palestinian descended rabble-rouser is a mentor to the mayor-elect. Credited with steering the Muslim vote in his election, now she wants payback. Linda Sarsour wants payback. Complete allegiance to her anti-Semitic, anti-Israel, and despise America agenda. What she's saying is, I hate Jesus. I hate Jesus. I hate Jews. I hate America. It's amazing because she lives here in America, right? How do people hate America and they live here? Linda, if you don't like America, get the heck out. That's all I say to you. Just leave our country. If you don't want to be here, if this is so, so anathema to how you feel as a person, then you are free to go. But no, she said, no, what we're going to do is we're just going to make it really bad for you. And we're going to start with Zohran Mamdani. So Sarsour is a 48-year-old, and she's a co-chair of the 2017 Women's March on Washington to protest President Trump's first term. She left that organization in 2019. Excluding Jewish marchers from the hoopla, saying one cannot be a feminist and a Zionist at the same time. Oh my, gosh. She also publicly fantasized about removing the lady parts of political foes. These are some evil folks here, guys. Here's where we're at, folks, because we're going to have to end. We're going to probably extend the show at some point. It won't happen today, but there's so much going on because we haven't even talked about the government shutdown. This is the disturbing trend in America where you've got people who get elected to office, mind-numb voters in America, don't do their homework. They don't check on the people who they're voting for. And they get into office, and before you know it, they are changing the times, the dates, the customs that make America what it is. We as a country have got to stand our ground, guys. We cannot allow these people, the Linda Sarsours, AOCs, the Ilhan Omar's, Rashida Tlaib's, Jasmine Crockett's, all these people who don't love America to change the land that is, as many people have said, and you could ask ChatGPT, it is the greatest social experiment ever to have been devised by man. America truly, truly, truly is a remarkable place, you guys. And if we don't protect it, as Ronald Reagan said, it will be gone in one generation. And we cannot allow that to happen. This has been Pastor Sherman Ray for In God We Still Trust. I want to thank you all for being a part of the broadcast, you guys. Once again, if you would like to get this broadcast and you'd like to, take it with you, what you can do is you can actually download it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can do the video portion on our YouTube channel, or you can go to GodWeStillTrust.org and you can watch the whole thing. Okay, take it with you. You need to do that. But subscribe. Follow us. Send me an email. Send an email to ingodwestilltrust1@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you guys, okay? This has been, once again, Pastor Sherman Ray, and we will see you guys again next week for more of In God We Still Trust. Have a wonderful day in the Lord. We'll talk to you later, okay? Bye-bye. Peace out.